Hey guys, I want to give you a little bit of an update about how prep is going. So currently, I am now 7 weeks out from my competition in September. My last meet at 82.5 kg, 181.7 pounds. Currently, I'm weighing in the morning, averaging around 181 morning weights. Um, Basically, I finished up my cut around like 179, and then kind of refill glycogen back up to 181. Kind of staying here and shooting just to eat enough to support my recovery and my training while not becoming too bloated because I ideally want to be gaining weight. Because ideally most powerlifters should be about 2 to 3% above their weight class for a competitive advantage to take advantage of training at heavier body weights with increased output during training, having a little more energy availability, all that good stuff. And also, the heavier that you are, you can shift a little bit more weight usually, have a little bit more of a competitive advantage. So I'm kind of hoping to gain 0.5 to 1.5% body weight, so 1 to 3 pounds per month, solely over time and whatnot. But right here, you just saw my primary squat day. I got 396 pounds for top set of 3 RB6, and then 357 or 58 pounds for down sets of 4. And then this is my primary bench day. I did a single RP 9.5. And then I did some back downs with 265 for sets of 5 and some Larson press after it. I'm going to talk a little bit about how I'm structuring my training kind of going into this meet in terms of training organization because of the specificity of powerlifting. So essentially, I am training my primary squat, deadlift, and bench fresh. So basically, I'm doing them basically on solo days, and then I'm doing my secondary and tertiary. So my secondary squat and deadlift together. So squat and then deadlift, and then doing my secondary bench also after another squat day. So I know how it feels benching after squat. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I want to be able to train with the most output on my primary days, which are the most important for strength development, but still maintain some of the specificity of powerlifting and the whole skill of being able to lift several lifts on the same day, squat, bench, and deadlift like you would in a meet, just so I kind of know what it feels like from a fatigue perspective and whatnot. And I think it makes a lot more sense to probably place more emphasis on your secondary days being SBD days as opposed to primary and primary days being like SBD days where you do several lifts. Obviously, it's going to depend on your training frequency of each lift. This is what I found worked best for myself and lots of my lifters. And as we move a little bit closer to competition, maybe we might do a little bit more SBD days where, you have a primary day of deadlift right after squat. But I found that usually it makes a lot of sense to train fresh. They have the most training effect on that lift. But overall, things are feeling really, really good. I'm the strongest I've ever been. This is probably the biggest and the leanest I've ever been to at 180-81. I moved back to sumo deadlift this week for a conventional. I'm going to be training both going into my meets, and also keeping in a single on deadlift and on bench press. And I don't really think I need to do really any sort of singles on squat, just because I seem to really get beat down in particular by singles on squat and a little bit less beat down by singles on deadlift and bench press, and that's probably because of my leverages. I'm more built for bench press and deadlift as opposed to the squat. So just driving volume, sets of 8, unfortunately, on squat, but it's working really, really, really well. And I'm feeling really, really good about where things are at in terms of training right now. Like, this is the best I've ever felt, the healthiest I've ever felt with training. Everything feels very consistent. I feel like I'm in the groove with a lot of my training and recovery and nutrition right now. And I'm just really, really excited to peek into this meet and, have hopefully break a 1,500 total before I leave the junior class. But this is basically the training update 7 weeks out. Also hit a really, really gnarly conventional deadlift PR of 551 for set of 3. I also did one more after this at this weight, and that's really the best I've ever done on conventional. So I'm really excited for the next 7 weeks, and yeah, I think that I have a lot to still prove, and I'm really excited to show you guys the results of all of this prep and doing things properly, scientifically, going to the platform.